Used to wake up every morning, grab an orange juice and a blunt for breakfast. Bullin' with Slim outside the donut shop on 32nd. Smoke till we look Chinese. Auntie them talking reckless. Niggas that be around me, quick to shoot, no second guessing. Stacking shit like I'm playing Tetris. Big faces ain't talking precious. Every day I'm counting blessings, put it on me like a fucking necklace. Rhyme from it, get real hectic. G.O.D. got me protected. Ice City, well respected. Pretty gangsters been connected. Bet I get on it if that bass knock. Growing up everywhere, I wish somebody off that bass rock. Pray for my city. Every other night, nigga get shot if it. Rockin' with me like Mozzie, keep one up top. Middle finger go to the cops. FTP. Yeah, I can tell who true or not. Can't cross me. This rap shit too easy ass. In my jeans, going harder than I ever did all 2019.
They know who to call to get the job done. Pulling up with shiny black pistols looking like raw son. If it's 20 niggas in the room, I bet I rock one. You be talking like a gangster nigga, but you not one. You ain't never picked a nigga up to go and drop one. You see the NY on my hat, that mean you better stop, son. The tracks in the front or the back, bet not cross none. I ain't never worried, cause these bitches ain't gon' pop gum.
What it do, man? What it motherfucking do, man? It's yours truly, Michael Scarry, man. We in the Ghost Regime Network. Man, got my brother in here, man. Regime Dragon Gang. And I think it literally though, we literally regime life in this motherfucker tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? Bro, what's up with my brother though, man? What's happening with you?
Oh man,
I'm just
enjoying the
enjoying the
West Oakland
West
weather, right?
Oakland weather, right? Oh yeah. I heard somebody say, man, you know, as bad as hard as it is to live in California, man, they wouldn't trade the weather for nothing, man. you
You can't get it
know what I'm
worse.
saying?
All over the country.
Yeah, man. What's the latest and the greatest? What you got going on, bro? Let everybody know who you is, bro. What you got, you know what I mean? Let us hear what your credentials is, man. I'm being rude to the motherfucker, man. This is a regime Dragon Gang aficionado in here, man. For real though, he real serious with it, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got the motorcycle club, man. He campaigning it, man. Like he running this shit up, and you know what I mean. And it's really it start with self motivation, bro. So salute to you, but you know, let them know who you is, bro.
I'm Ro.
I'm
I'm the
Rope.
president
I'm the
of the Regime Motorcycle
Regime
Club.
Motorcycle Club.
Um,
Uh,
I'm from West
I'm from
Oakland.
West Oakland.
From Oakland.
From Oakland.
Started this
Started this
technically 10 years
technically
ago,
10
but we've
but
been running
we've been
Regime Path for a little
impacted
longer.
a little.
We have
We have
standard
another
another, so we don't count
we
the
don't
years.
count the years.
I'm the year.
The
Yeah,
theater,
like
yeah,
hold
like
on, because I'm hearing this.
I'm hearing this. Oh, you hearing? Yes, dragging a little bit. I thought it was a string yard because the string yard, the string yard be acting weird though. But shit, we just rock through it anyway, man. However it go, you know what I'm saying? Can't stop, won't stop.
There we go.
There we go.
I
Yep,
can
can't
hear you.
stop, won't stop. I can hear you. Huh? I hear you good. I hear you good, bro.
All right, yeah.
All right, yeah. We
We're 10 years
we're
old.
10 years old.
Community oriented,
Community oriented.
whether that's Oakland or
Oakland
motorcycle
motorcycle
pod.
pod.
We
We
we do a lot of
we did
things.
a
We're
lot of
one of the
things.
only
We're one of the
motorcycle
only
clubs
motorcycle
that has been doing
been
free
doing
events and
free
free
events
drive,
and free drive,
free gas,
free gas,
free food,
free
and all that
and
stuff
all that stuff
for
for
the past years. We try to give back, and so on that same fashion, we got a toy drive coming up. Um, we're in a group or a union of 60 or so other motorcycle clubs in Alameda County. And every year, the union of clubs comes together and does this toy drive, where we ask for toys and monetary donations, unwrapped gifts, those kind of things, um, up until the drive and the day of, and then it all gets accumulated and counted, and then given to the Adopt an Angel Foundation. And I think that the union might start going with a different organization soon, because there's talks where they want to pick a charity where the clubs and the members can actually hand the gifts to the kids. Because I've been part of toy drives where we do that in other counties and other organizations and other motorcycle clubs where they just do their own. And that's a great feeling and everything. But the reason that we did the Adopt an Angel and we can't distribute the toys in person is because that charity benefits like protected kids that are like abused and battered and whatnot. So they all do their own, charity thing themselves, where their members are all given the kids, because they all got like social workers and whatnot who know the kids are. It's like a whole identity thing. They're all protected. So we don't ever get to see them. But it's still a great cause. It's a great thing that they're doing. And that's why we have been working with them for the past however many years. But I think next year might be something else. So right now, all the toys, all the donations, all the money, it all goes to Adopt an Angel. And they're I think nationwide. It's not just like a California thing. So the toy drive is November 15th. It's from 12 to 3. I think you can get there early and there'll be people set up, because I've been seeing some flyers say 11, but really just show up at 12 or later at Oakland Harley on Hagenberger. There's only one in Oakland, and it's big. They got a big lot. It's going to be jumpers and tables and, stuff for the kids. It's a family thing. And that's where the actual drive is going to be held, is on Hagenberger at Oakland Harley. So my club is cooking and providing food for anybody that wants to donate a toy or cash to the drive. So for all of the people that are involved in it, all the donators and everything, we give you a nice plate of food. We're cooking enchiladas and jambalaya and some salad and a drink. So it's going to be good. It's not phoned in. We got a chef in my club who takes real pride in cooking, and everything that he makes is awesome. So, you actually will get something in return besides just some gratitude and good feelings and whatnot. You get a nice plate of food. Also, my club is hosting a ride earlier to the toy drive. So for those of you that ride and want to come out and get the whole day in, we start at the Florence bar in Fremont, Niles, the Niles district of Fremont. The Florence bar, it's an old popular bar. Everybody knows where that is. If you don't, you can look it up. I don't know the addresses off top to Harley and to the Florence, but they're very, very popular, and you can find them on the internet super easily. But we start there. We're going to meet up at 10 in the morning, chill for about a half an hour. Or no. We're going to chill basically, we're going to leave at 11, but you can get there between 10 and 10:30 and just hang out. The Florence is very motorcycle club friendly. They know that we're doing the ride. A lot of people are probably going to show up to this because it's for the union. So mind you, that's like 60 or so clubs where they all get together and plan these events. And them folks like to ride too. So it's going to be a lot of other clubs out there probably to come support that. But, whether you ride or you don't, it doesn't have to be about that. You can meet us down at the event. Bring your kids, pull up, drive. It's a family-friendly event. Or show up on your bike down in Fremont and come ride with us. We'll take the streets up to Oakland and end at the toy drive. So the ride and the food, that's my club. The whole event, the whole toy drive, that's like a competition, all different clubs.
For sure. Hey, and for those of you that's not familiar with the regime, man, of course, what I mean, I look at the regime as itself more as an entity, man. I'm talking about in regards to the Dragon Gang, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at us, we more like a fucking entity, man. You know what I'm saying? You got, we have, notables from all over, man. You know what I mean? Yuck was kind of, um, his mind was very, um, more vast than just creating some musical thing. You know what I'm saying? It really is motherfuckers from all backgrounds in life, man. And I've been in a front row seat to really attest to that in a Regime motorcycle club where I'm telling you, you being from the West, like me, we all two West Oakland niggas, bro. Like we we from the black part of Oakland. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people, right? You know what I'm saying? We are the hood. Period. We are the hood of Oakland, man.
This
Um,
clear.
it's a lot of culture to it. Just to have a mind state to be a part of. Of course, you are knowledgeable in the history. You know what I'm saying of our bike clubs. You know what I'm saying? Inspired by like what inspired you, about that. Like we got the dragons and all that, but what inspired you to this shit though, man?
To
To
start the
start to
get into
get it
motorcycle clubs.
motorcycle clubs. Yeah,
Because
you know what I mean. Just what got you into it in general, just in general, man. Because it's it take a unique motherfucker to be a part of this type of shit, man. This is a different world.
it
It
is.
is.
Uh,
Uh,
I guess
guess
what got me
what
into
got me into
the
the
motorcycle club
motorcycle club
part
part
of
of
motorcycling
motorcycle
was
was
I've been part of these monthly rides for shit. I don't even know when the first time I started going on the Frisco monthly one was in early 2009. And it's these big ass motorcycle gatherings where they do this shit now in Oakland, where you see like a whole pack of dudes on dirt bikes and shit with no helmets and ATVs and shit. But that's not what I'm talking about. Back in 2009, the ride that I'm talking about started in 2006, but in 2009 I started going on it, and you didn't have that. You didn't have these big ass packs of people with no helmets riding around, getting on the sidewalk, fucking with the police and shit. This was all like a group of 60 to 100 um, grown ass responsible men and women with insurance and registration and shit. So it's a whole different ride when you just mobbing around, and you ain't gonna get caught, and you got no responsibility or no accountability, so to speak. You don't got license plates
license
and
plates. None
but
of that, none of that Fast and Furious shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you can still have fun, and it's great because these are folks that take the shit seriously. um I feel like it's usually older folks. There is a lot of younger folks that come out on these monthly rides that I'm talking about, but in general it's mostly just mature people. So I really liked doing that. And the one that I'm talking about that I first started going on was in San Francisco, and it was once a month, and I didn't want to wait a whole month for that shit to come around. So me and another homie started doing one here in Oakland to offset the Frisco one. And a lot of them Frisco cats started coming out to Oakland because they didn't want to wait a month either. It just made too much sense to have more than one. So the Frisco one had motorcycle clubs coming out because I think that during the early years of that ride, motorcycle clubs would look at that because it was a gathering of mature independents that all had their shit together, um, as a place to poach. So you'd see like a couple clubs, a lot of them that used to come out to that aren't even around no more. But I would see clubs trying to pick up members from these independent things, and that's all gravy. Is a lot of people that come to those things don't know anything about clubs, never thought about it and shit. So when they cross their minds and bring it up, it's all just oh, I never thought about that. And that's what happened with me. One of them dudes started coming out to my Oakland ride, and there was also other little things where you could hang out in Hayward and get pizza and shit, but I was mostly in tune to the rides. um, and I would start seeing these dudes. They were called death machines. They're not even a club anymore. But one of them dudes hollered at me, was like, "Hey, you should come ride with us." Started hanging out with them. I liked what they was doing, and boom, I clicked up with them. Their club ended up disbanding for a whole bunch of different reasons. So then I was independent again, and I really had to sit there and think like, okay, this next club, because I still wanted to be in that life. I really liked it. But also, mind you, let's rewind. This club that I was talking about before, Death Machines, they were based out of Monterey. And I'm from Oakland. So when I first started fucking with them to like go to church, to go to their runs, to go to their parties and that kind of shit, I'd have to go to Monterey. And that's like 2.5 hours away. It wasn't just regular Monterey too. It was like south down by Carmel and shit. So it was on the bottom part of their bay. And I'd have to go hella far. By the time they folded, they moved to Mountain View, which still wasn't hella close, but it was way easier. So I got to thinking like, all right, I got to pick a club again that I support, that supports everybody. And around, what was it, like 2013, I didn't have a lot to choose from. There's a lot more clubs out now than there was back then that have or that offered what I wanted, at least here, in Oakland or in the greater Bay Area, because I wasn't going to go back to Monterey or no stupid shit like that no more. Had to be local. So I wanted the basic shit. It was like, any bike, not one of these Harley only or Japanese only clubs or something. You could have anything as long as it wasn't a dirt bike. It had to be street legal. Any ethnicity, which when I say that to some people, they'll stop and be like, oh, so what about these only clubs or this only club or that only club? A lot of these clubs, whether they're Black only, Polynesian only, or Latino only or something, on paper it sounds like racist almost, or segregated or something like that. It's really just like a ethnic pride thing for a lot of these motorcycle clubs to not allow other races into it. For a lot of them, not all of them. Some of them are racist, but at least in the Bay, you don't really get that shit. You have to go to like Nevada or Oregon or some shit before you start seeing that kind of shit happen. But when you throw a party and you rock on these different sets and you start seeing the Polynesian only or the Black only or the Latino only clubs start fucking with each other at parties, you realize that it's not that they hate each other or something like that. They're just supporting themselves, which is great. So anyways, I wanted it to be an all-inclusive club, with everybody that had this shit together. We had to be ride oriented, which, I don't want to throw no shades on any of the other clubs that I fuck with, but I don't think that there's really a lot more than like maybe 4 or 5 clubs that ride more than the Regime does in this area. Because we have all of these scheduled monthly rides that we offer to the public, and then we do our own things on top of that. And then on top of that, we have these yearly cross-country rides and shit that we do. I done been to Washington hella times. Last year, we rode to Florida. Next year, we're going to do a whole, like, Midwest kind of thing. It's crazy the shit that we be doing. And when I first got into motorcycle clubs, I thought that all motorcycle clubs did that. They were all into riding, and they were all into getting in hella miles with each other and shit. I'm about to just flip my phone because it keep happening. But I was wrong. So, ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody's got a purpose and a place and stuff. So I was just really trying to think of a club that would align with what I want. And so back then, there wasn't a whole lot of options. There were some cool clubs, and I tried to get with them. And, I think I was talking to you earlier this week about the different steps and things that you take to get into a motorcycle club. And when I was before I even got to have an official hang around patch or something, I was just trying to support different clubs. You get a feel for them and what they're about, and it just wasn't the right fit. I still support a lot of those clubs and fuck with them to this day, and some of them are super tight with me. But I just felt like at that time, what I wanted wasn't offered. So then I got to the point where, all right, I'm gonna start a club. A lot of different things went through my mind on what to base it on, what to, what colors to pick, because that's an important thing in the motorcycle club world, and all this and that. And I really wanted it to be something Oakland oriented, but could expand, because, like take East Bay Dragons, for instance. I don't think that in any of our lifetimes you're gonna see an East Bay Dragons charter like in Nevada or something, you know. And that's their own choice, and I'm not putting them down for that or something. But I didn't want something like that where I'm the Oakland this, or you know what I mean, or I'm the East Bay that, and limit myself. Um, and so all these different things came into being from Oakland, wanting the club to be open and also be charitable and that sort of thing. I just started thinking about different organizations that came from Oakland, you know, Panthers and uh, West Coast Mafia, different things like that. And finally, I landed on the Regime, and without even thinking about if I know anyone in it, just the Dragon and the Regime, because it's a Oakland born organization. Without even thinking about who I know in it, I was just like, okay, that's an option. And then I was like, okay, well, I actually know these two brothers. I had done some engineering already for Ramin, and his brother was just there, so I got to meet him. And I think Lee is from the West, and we was in the West. We was in Ghost Town, actually.
Yeah, Lee Majors from Dogtown.
Majors from Dogtown. See, a lot of people get it mixed up. I don't get it mixed up, but I never knew where he was from because it's the 20s and the 30s. But we had a studio on 32nd, and we was in Ghost Town, and that's where I met a lot of rappers. T Looney, Regime, Ramin, and his brother, and Adrian Man, and eventually even Drew Down and shit. But that's where I went from there. So when I landed on Regime, it's not like I had really super rocked with them or nothing. We had just done some business. So I wanted to do it the right way. And I reached out to Lee, actually, and I asked him, what's up, dude? First of all, is there a motorcycle club already? Because I didn't know. And then who do I got to talk to get this thing going? Because I already know how this works. So he was like, yeah, you got to holler at Yuck and Drew. And I had only met Drew one time, and I had never met Yuck at this point. So I was like, what's good? Send me the line. Let me know how to do that, and I'll holler at them. So Lee set that up where I could talk to Yuck, and I was talking to him, and we shared some ideas and shit. And here we are to this day. It's been pretty beautiful that so many that was in 2013, but here we are in 25, and the club is officially 10 years old. And it's a great thing to see it grow to what it is. We got a couple nomads up in Washington.
12 years old.
The movement is 12 years old. I mean, the whole Regime is even older. That shit started in 97. But the motorcycle riding movement, the riders, whatever you want to call it, we call it two different things. We were assembled in 2013, and we were established in 2015. So we go by our establishment date, but we don't want to deny ourselves that like we were still doing it before that. And the difference between those two dates for us is when we changed our patches, because we were already wearing patches, but we changed them a little bit and then added the official MC star and went to the other clubs and started supporting them and getting more on the set and doing motorcycle club things instead of just being a bunch of dudes that rock patches. Because there's social clubs, riding clubs, just riding groups, all kinds of things out here. And we were that. We didn't really have a name for it. Yuck was calling us the Regime Riders, but I didn't like that because I felt like we was biting Rough Riders, because we wasn't trying to do that either. So we weren't a motorcycle club yet, the traditional way. But we did motorcycle club shit. We had meetings. We were still doing our two-wheel meals. We was voting on shit. But in 2015 is when we came together and said, look, we're going to put the MC on there. We're going to go to the homies, the big clubs out here in Oakland, talk to them. And both of the big clubs, because we're on two different sets, we're very open arms and gracious. So it's been great ever since then.
That's dope. And that's history too. You know what I'm saying? Especially West Oakland history. I mean, added to everything else because you never know how big something can become, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's starting off with the kind of respect that it's starting off with. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Yuck doing his shit. I mean, Regime worldwide, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm talking about quietly though. Quietly though. You know what I'm saying? This being just it's been just building and building. You know what I mean? Yep. So welcome everybody that's been tapping in, man. In the Ghost Regime Network, man. Again, you know, I'm Michael Scarry, man, the founder of this shit, man. We got my brother Ro in here, you know, chopping it up with us about the Regime Motorcycle Club. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you're familiar with the Regime, man, you familiar with Yuck Mouth, man. You know what I mean? You know, you already know, man. You already know what that Regime Dragon is. Like, share, and subscribe to your guy, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody that's tapping in. I want to play something real quick. Oh, just a little clip, man. Then I want to get your take on it, bro.
Okay.
Okay.
What's your relationship with Pete? You know Pete? I know you know Pete. Oh, with the ice cream man shit. Y'all cool now?
Just because you were saying that the regime was worldwide and everything, I know this is
I used to play hoop with Pete. Pete used to be at the
He used to be a hoop. I
used to come to the Y downtown.
I know. They had the Lexus on the things. The white Lexus on the things.
Yeah.
When Pete did that,
I didn't know you were still talking. I was playing the clip. What you were saying, bro? Go ahead.
I can't even say. You was playing a clip?
I just paused. I did just pause it because I noticed you were still talking. But I'm about to replay it. Let me know if you can see it or not.
Yeah, replay it.
All right. I know the audience can see it, but I'm gonna play it. Let me see.
What's your relationship with Pete? You know Pete? I know you know Pete. Oh, with the ice cream man shit. Y'all cool now?
I used to play hoop with Pete. Pete used to be at the Y.
Pete used to be a hoop.
He used to come to the Y downtown.
I know. They had the Lexus on the things. The white Lexus on the things.
Yeah.
When Pete did that shit, that ice cream man shit, he was still in Richmond.
Nah.
He had already left.
He left. He did. I was ice cream man 93, 94.
Damn, it's the first. I'm late. I got to get rolling.
Man, I'm out of cream. Get your ice cream, not iced tea, not ice cube, ice cream, bangs, half things, QPs, zippers, whatever you need, hard, soft. Get your ice cream, Peruvian ice cream.
Well, it's the ice cream man, bitch. Don't you hear the music? I got the shit fiends holler at me when they use it. I got shit sold, I pimp those broke ass nymphos. Got them sucking dick and pig toes. I guarantee it's not a soda rock. You could bring cash, money, food stamps so we can swap.
He ice cream man 96.
Ice cream man. Yeah. Mr. Ice Cream Man. Ice Cream Man.
Before you jump in the game, let's get one thing understood. If you're selling an ice cream, you got to make sure it's good.
Mr. Ice Cream Man. Mr. Ice Cream Man.
His ice cream shit, he came out in 96 with the ice cream.
How did you feel though?
I was like, you biting, nigga.
So shout out to No Jumper, man. I mean, excuse me, No Vultures. Damn, I said No Jumper, man. Excuse me for that disrespect, man. Shout out to No Vultures, man. You know what I'm saying? For that for covering that, man. For starters, you know what I mean. It's true that you know the Ice Cream Man song came out on Explicit Game, which is Drew Down album, right? You know what I'm saying? But if knowing the history, we know that Yuck Mouth wrote that, and that's probably something that should have came out on Operation Stackover for one. You know what I'm saying? But they needed that to get their foot in it, though. You know what I mean? That's the gist of how I heard Yuck putting it. But what you think about that clip, bro? Like, what's your take on that? I told you we was gonna talk about it, bro.
Man,
Man,
I feel like
I feel like
DNH
DNA
is a type of
a
person,
type of person,
or he's got a
or
type
he's
of
got a
person
type of person,
where, and
where,
this is very
and this is very,
where he needs
where he
credit
needs
for
credit for it.
everything. Like you got a million people in the Bay that will say Hella came from this dude, or Fashizi came from Twice, or E40, or Kick the Sneak, or Yada I mean came from Yuck, or something like that. Like, or they'll be like, nah, Yuck heard it from my cousin J-Bo or some shit from the block, or nah, I'm the one that did it, and it like does it really matter? It's a word. Like I look at it like you probably didn't come up with none of that shit, and even if you did, then everybody else would know it. Your homies would know it, because when I come up with funny ass words and shit, everybody's like, hey, he said that shit. It's pretty obvious. You don't just like sneak some shit and then, all your homies would know it. There'd be other people accounting for this shit. But and that's not to discredit all those folks that actually do this shit and do it for a living. They come up with lingo and stuff. But I've just noticed that, like, from growing up here, that you'll have dudes talking about shit from like 30 years ago that ain't even got nothing to do with who came up with a word. Like, for instance, I got a little homie that raps. He's like, I don't know, 17 or 18. His name is Lil Willie. And I saw him put up a picture that it was him like getting a CD for Mac Dre when he was super little, a long time ago. And it was part of, like, when Mac Dre would go around, he had cameras with him all the time, and they were shooting them Trill TVs and shit like that. So his little ass, when he was little, was on a clip, getting a CD, and he was like bandanaed up and white tee and Jesus, shit, the little kid. So he put up that picture, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that you were in a DVD or something like that, because, I fucks with little dude. I try to be promoting him and whatnot. And the next comment was the dude that took that picture, like 15 or 16 years ago, or, whatever the fuck it was. And he was like, oh man, don't forget to give me credit for taking the pictures, or I was the one behind the video or something, or, this and that. And I was like, okay, that's cool. That dude was the cameraman. And then he replied to my comment. That was his own shit. And I don't know this dude or nothing. I'm just on the other guy's shit. And he was like, what you're looking at is my product and everything. And I'm like, okay, that's legitimate what he's saying, but it's just a big thing where they need their credit for the pettiest, littlest shit. This is like a youngster posting a picture from when he was a super youngster. Anyways, I think that that C has that to a very high degree, and thinks that anything and everything that happens or that is created by any artist that is signed to him, whether they're still signed to him or not, he has a part in it. Like he feels like he didn't say this to me, but I get the impression that he feels like he created the regime. Like, not the motorcycle club, because he actually did tell me that dumbass shit, and we've never met. But he tells me that because in his mind, he signed Yuck, got Yuck, Yuck got famous with his song, and therefore got C even more fame than he already had, because he was pushing shit and doing right already. I'm not going to disclaim that, he was doing the right moves. But just any accolade or something like that, you know, he'll tell people like, I got gold plaques, I got this. There's a there's a C Note compilation that, you know, when I was younger, same with you, you know, all the compilations, they didn't have mixtapes and shit back then. You know, it was different. It was all compilations where it was just a various artist was the artist, and then each track had like hella different people on it, and the one above it would not even be the same as one below it. So that's what I really liked, because that's how you got hella people on different songs and shit that would normally not fuck with each other. And there was a C Note compilation. I'm never gonna forget this shit. He was just like we was talking before. He was copying all the East Coast producer guys that wanted to be on, and he put his face on the cover of one of those. I don't know if you saw that. If you ever, you know, you definitely heard songs that was on it. But if you go back and Google the C Note compilation, I forget what the fuck it's called. There's one with just it's like a big old picture of just C's face with his Jerry curl and shit. And people back in the day, because you didn't have the internet, you had maybe a couple of magazines and this and that, but even then they wasn't fucking with the same people. So once Drew would do an interview with Source or with 4080 or something like that, he wouldn't pop up again. They didn't do the same artists over and over again. So my point to that is a lot of people didn't even know what Drew looked like, or maybe they saw him on the was that shit, the box or whatever, where you type in the numbers and they bill you your phone for playing the music videos. They saw that shit and thought that compilation was Drew on the cover, because it's not even just his face. It's kind of like, I don't know, they photoshopped that shit, or the early Photoshop. This was a long time ago, but all he does is get on a track, on a skit, or he talks, or he acts like in a video or something like that. Doesn't do no writing. I don't think he's ever written a song. And if he did, it would have to be on some shit that's after like 1999 or some shit that I've never heard of or whatever. But back then, when he was trying to take everybody's royalties and rights and credits and shit, and take credit for shit that he didn't do, you know, the internet wasn't as savvy. Folks with contracts, you know, wasn't as tight as they should have been, and he was taking advantage of people. So nowadays, I just look at him and laugh. But he's one of them dudes, to answer your question, that just has like an issue with himself. I don't know. He wanted to be more than just an executive producer. He wanted to be a part of all of the groups and all of the artists that he produced. That's why he's on fucking one of Drew Down covers, and he don't do shit. He just literally, he's standing behind him. You can see Drew and then the tall Jerry curl dude behind him. You know, it's some weird shit, because it's not like they was homies. You know, it's not like he was. You know, he's a hustler or was and did his thing. But you know. He's a product also, in my eyes. I'm not speaking for the rest of the regime or no shit, of someone that does your own product, and that shit never goes right. And so he lost all the flame that he had, and all the juice, and all the momentum, and all of the ambition a long time ago. You know, he could have been a lot greater if he'd you know, not fucked off all the money.
He fucked off a squad. I'm talking about the Loonies in Drew. I'm talking about just to start with. Consider when Yuck Mouth became. Imagine if he would have kept it real, would have kept it 100. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, it's a lot of shit to that. It stood out to me, man, because you know, like that clip is actually probably a little bit old. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the first time you've been going around doing this shit. You know what I mean? But it stood out to me because foremost, I'm like, one, you know, Bo and Yuck being my two favorite rappers all time. You know what I mean? It's just like, not like I'm a Regime Mob figure nigga. You know what I mean? It's like I don't just listen to the music, nigga. I study it like it's a part of history. Like that shit like a soundtrack on my life. You feel me? You know what I mean? So knowing Yuck wrote that shit, and you don't give me no credit to no degree. You know what I'm saying? Like you making it seem like, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yuck was on P Head for about 10 years, man, behind his bike shit. I'm talking about that nigga was on that nigga head for a generation behind that nigga generational rap behind bike. You know what I mean? He just now, but as I said, he's like the Diddy before Diddy, man. He like the P Diddy, like, and I always use the example, just like when Suge was at the Source Awards saying, if you don't want a producer's all in your videos, shut up there, rapper and shit, come to there, bro. That's Diddy. That's Chris Hicks made before Diddy, man. This happened before that. You know what I'm saying?
He executive
Yeah.
like beats, making some songs and shit. C just stand around. That's all he do. He front the money sometimes, and that's what an executive producer is supposed to do. But that's why other executive producers are more successful than him, because they stay behind the cameras. They just, you'll turn off clients doing some shit like that. I know a big production team that makes big ass like arena size shows with E40 and Ice Cube and shit. Like they're selling big tickets, and there's certain artists from the Bay that they tell me that they don't want on their shit because of all the baggage that come with them. And if you're an artist shopping for an executive producer and you hot, and the executive producer should really be giving you offers, then you're not going to take his offer or try to fuck with him and do business with him if you know that he's going to want to be on your album cover, and he's going to want to be in all the videos and shit and be up there accepting awards on your behalf and whatnot. Man, don't nobody want that shit for their work. Not for their craft.
Don't nobody give a fuck. I mean, and I don't know. I fuck with Drew. Definitely fuck with Drew, man. You know what I'm saying? That's big bro. You know what I mean? For more reason than one for me. Not just he one of my comrades too, though. So, you know what I mean? So it's definitely love and respect. He's still here. Is I don't know. It's some of them songs that was on Explicit Game. I'm talking about. I can just imagine if with Operation Stockholder would it be if shit like Rescue 911 and all that shit was on Operation Stockholder. I'm just saying, they had to, that's what paying dues was back then, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to get your foot in the door, you was doing shit like that. You know what I mean? But it forever solidified the niggas together. You know what I mean? CNH, man. Bruh, you should be happy, man. Just
literally makes me laugh. Cartoon character. Man.
No, I didn't hear you. What you say?
I wanted to say this about the Ice Cream Man shit, since that's really what this conversation really was started with. My understanding is this, because I had a conversation with someone else who brought up a different video, because these comparisons of Drew, of Yuck and Master P have been going on forever. Like you said, that video that you played is probably a few years old or something. I was shown a different one probably a few years ago, and also that same one popped up recently with someone. They were like, "Oh, look at this! I never knew that Master P, took this song from Drew." That's what he said, and I was like, "Well, actually, that's a Yuck song." And they were like, "Oh no, it's on Drew's album." I was like, "I know," and that's where the confusion goes. Drew was C's artist before the Loonies. He was already pumping out Drew's music, and they already had Drew down before the Loonies even got with C-No, before they got their first deal. Drew was already out. So Yuck wrote the Ice Cream Man, I think, while in youth abatement in Camp Sweeney or some shit like that. Where he wrote it is irrelevant.
Los Cerros, yeah. He was in camp. He was in camp.
Before. It's the same shit, I think. Or one's further up on the hill and the other one's further down, but it's all fucking juvie. All that shit's the same. But
same place.
He came to C to do some other kind of business that didn't involve rap, and then found out that that's also what C does on the side is produces rap, and he's a rapper on the side, because everybody was into some other shit, and that's what they was trying to get into was some other shit, respectfully.
Young Mouth talk about it a lot. He say, man, I got my record deals, drug dealing in drought. He say it all the time.
Not trying to
yeah.
Quotables on all that, but they was trying to do some other business, and when he found out that dude is a executive producer of rap, he goes, oh, well, I rap, and I just wrote some raps. I got raps right now. And C, being a hustler, he was like, well, spit that shit right now. So he spit Ice Cream Man to CNH. That was the first rap that he ever spit to him, and it was like
Hey, how Young put it, you know what I'm saying? CNH was so juice, he took that nigga, the battle rap, Yuck, nigga, all the greats at that time, nigga. I'm talking about just off that. He like, nigga, oh, nigga, I got one for y'all, nigga. Nigga, I'm talking about, nigga, the legendary rapping Rondo, nigga. Come on, man.
He was so
yeah.
That shit that he took him around, and then he was like still buzzing off of that, which as he should be, because back then there wasn't as many options. It's not like Yuck couldn't do that shit right now and just still be on fire. If he respit all this shit knowing there was no Yuck Mouth and he just came out, that shit would be insane still at any point in time. But back then, that's why fools would get excited, because you didn't even have any other shit to saturate it with, because his shit just it was magnificent. But also, he was hecka young. He was still like 18 or 17 or something at this time, because like I said, he just got out of Los Cerros, and that's a juvie. That's a juvenile detention thing. So he saw that this young dude had more skills than a lot of the other folks that he was already doing rap business with and other business with that was just out there rapping, because fools would do that around C. They would just bust rhymes, because some people would fuck with him, like not for real, but they give him shit like, oh, you the rap man, because they was doing other stuff at the time, Damn. So, anyways, Yuck spit that shit to C first by himself, and then they got put on Drew's album, which was already coming out. Like, he was so juiced, he wanted to show it off. He showed it to his homies. He showed it to Drew. He put all that together in terms of the song, like them being with Drew down and shit. He made those moves where he brought folks, but that's what executive producer is supposed to do. And then they basically ran with Yuck's song that he wrote and he spat, and it was his idea. And it was a great idea. And Yuck was already calling himself that. That was already his nickname before he even met C. One of his many, So to hear around still to this day being like, I'm the original Ice Cream Man, because there's a video of him doing the whole skit. That's only because they needed somebody to act in their video.
We just said the fish and shit. Next, all you was is a motherfucking mascot and an actor for a video. That's it. You was just the ice cream driver, nigga. You was an ice cream driver, nigga. You just happen to be the, to be the executive producer. You get your props for that, nigga. But I'm just saying, get Yuck his props, nigga. That's really what the gist that we getting at, bro. Learn to get, we from that era when bike wasn't cool, bro. I'm talking about, nigga. It ain't like nowadays, nigga, where niggas want niggas to drop one at a time. Nigga, we from the era, nigga. We had the loonies, bad influence, delinquents, 3-time crazy. You know what I'm saying? The dangerous crew, nigga. Get low, sick with it, Shelly Sale, Sibo, Brother Lynch. I'm talking about, nigga, you name it, nigga. All these niggas popped at the same time, nigga. Might be in the same year, nigga. You had a variety when you came to the Bay, nigga, and all of them classics.
The 90s was
insane. Yeah. Ain't no other era like the 90s, nigga, in the Bay Area today, nigga. Nothing touching it. And you had the Herm Lou, nigga. You had the Herm Lou compilations, nigga. West Coast Bad Boy, nigga. I mean, shout out to P for that. Shout out to P for the West Coast Bad Boy. He did that, nigga. Cell Block, you know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. I mean, we need to bring back the compilations. I was saying that today's age, we need a Bay Area compilation for sure.
There were Notorious Pimp Hustlers, the 4080 ones. Man, what else did we have? We had all that was my favorite shit. The Twice one, the Beta LA, um, shit, and then all them compilations that from SAC, the Big Hollis ones, and all that shit that had hella people on there. You know, all it took was just a fly ass producer, and then everybody would want to get on this shit. You know, and people should still do that shit now instead of just grabbing a bunch of radio beats and putting they verses on it. Like that's I feel like I'm not an artist or nothing like that, but I'm tapped in. I got family does this. I feel like you're wasting your money doing that shit, not just your time. But if you put some more thought into them bars and put them over some right beats, you could sell that shit for a lot more than a mixtape. But that's what a lot of people like doing, so I ain't gonna knock it. A lot of that shit sounds fly. I like them.
I'm working on it. I'm working on the EP personally. You know what I'm saying? And it's really just a bucket list. I don't really have no aspirations of really being a rapper. You know what I'm saying? But nigga being involved in it, those right. It's all kind of shit you can do. You know what I'm saying? Versus just making an album. But to your point, you're absolutely correct, man. I just point out all that we from an era, bro, to where originality was everything, man. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't have to do all of that. All of that shit the shit we chastised bro about was really because he did some really unnecessary shit, nigga. You didn't have to do all of that, nigga. I mean, you had niggas on your squad, nigga, who would have represented you regardless, nigga, who would have made sure you was well represented in that shit out of love and respect for what you did, period, nigga. But when you do weird shit, my nigga, it just I don't care, nigga, what part of history, nigga. I mean, you always had it wouldn't it wouldn't be hard for us to campaign to have Yuck in on this dialogue, you know what I'm saying? Just do that. But we speaking more so as fans first, nigga, because we grew up to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So like this music affected us too before we officially just really became a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? It ain't about no hatred. It's just nigga we love the authenticity, nigga, about our upcoming nigga. We from an authentic era, nigga, where you have to be authentic. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It meant everything. It was the difference, nigga. When no niggas bite, nigga. That's why that's niggas talking about, well, why was Yuck on Master P for bite, nigga, bro? Because we trip on that down here, nigga. Have your own. Like this ain't like no other region, nigga. We bred as individuals out here, nigga, in the Bay, nigga. Like this is warrior zone. Niggas is bred from the rooter to the tutor, nigga, to be their own man first, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We're not again.
To just acknowledge that song. You didn't even gotta, change it and not do it and be like, oh, I'm biting. You can still do it and then just be like, this put a bar in there about him saying that he's the dude, something. I don't know. You can still do it because other people do that and then it's cool. People have bit so many Pimp of the Year songs and lines and shit. Even Snoop's done it a couple of times, but then they'll say
they pay homage.
Exactly.
That's yeah. They pay homage, shout out, not like just like what niggas say, no Diddy. Actually, you give him credit, you give him probably for the wrong reasons, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Drake got sued for spitting a whole Forte bar and tried to say that he was paying homage, but nowhere did he say shit about Forte, so they had to sue him to get that money. Spit a whole ass Forte bar, like the entire bar, like not even just a couple words. He ran with that Players Club shit. Spit that shit over his nose. And
he thought niggas wouldn't go catch it. He thought that shit was so old, like this new generation ain't gonna catch on to that. Nigga, everybody listen to music out here. You got to understand, nigga, like this is an underground zone out here. You know what I'm saying? Like we love our artists. Like the Bay, we attached to our artists historically, man. Like Oakland, Briscoe, City, PA, like you name it, like we are attached to our artists. These niggas ain't niggas who just jumping off the porch, you know what I'm saying? These niggas that motherfuckers actually, but I don't know, in that event, hey, that lead me to segue to this last part right here, right? I feel like today's age in rap I feel like it's their wave, man. You know what I'm saying? The females, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the females like this is their time right now. You it's like it seems like the bars is just get better, man. You know what I'm saying? We got some female artists out here in the Bay. Are you familiar with these female artists out in the Bay? Which ones you listen to?
So it's not really Bay, but everybody, you know, we talk about the Bay to Sac connection. But I just recently, about like 4 or 5 months ago, got put on to Lil Marvelous daughter, you know, from WCM, you know, the first lady of West Coast Mafia. She got a daughter.
We definitely know who Marvelous is. I didn't even know Marvelous had a daughter to rap. I got to definitely do my homework tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know. Like maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, I was going to these art shows, and I started, you know, fucking with the dude that does them. Shout out Billy Blaze. I went to a couple of those, and then one of them had Marvelous. Like he was like, Marvelous is coming. She finna bust some flows and shit. I was like, Marvelous. He was like, yeah, and then started naming some other people and shit. There's a flyer for it and everything. I'm like, oh, okay. And on it said her daughter was gonna come rap. So that's when in my head was like, oh shit, I didn't know that she even had a daughter. I didn't know that her daughter rap, but you know, so I stuck around for that, and she gassed it. And then there was another lady. Oh man, that opened, you know, like it wasn't like a whole ass concert. It was kind of like just like a chill, like it reminded me of the old Java house that Dwayne Wiggins used to have from Tony, rest in peace. He used to have this joint over on Lakeshore where you could just go in there and like drink some coffee or whatever you drink, and then just listen to like open mic or spoken word. But it wasn't just like random dudes off the street. Like these people had their shit together. It was just an open platform for people that was already getting it in. So this reminded me of that, where like these weren't. It wasn't an open mic, but it reminded me of this shit, where it was just like a bunch of people that are already got their thing going, but I feel like they're trying to get motion. So this is like a platform to perform. So there was another lady before her, before Lil Marvelous, that to be honest, I never followed through. I looked up her Instagram and I listened to a bunch of her bars, but hearing her in person was just phenomenal. I'm trying to remember her name. It was like Lady Bolo or something like that. Man, I don't remember what her name was. I'm gonna have to ask Billy Blaze again because she was gassing. But Lil Marvelous, after I found out that she raps, I actually did start listening to her shit. She got songs with people. She got a video with Marvelous where like they all up in each other's face, going back and forth like it's battle rap style, but they just talking shit. You know, it's a music video. That shit is tight. She got songs with the homies. You know, T Nutty and Gatlin and shit. You know that Gatlin. You know, they all got bars. You know, they all got gas. So she's going. I don't really listen to a lot of music these days unless it's mob shit, to be honest. I just don't relate to the whole, you know, other styles. It don't even sound, I'm not even gonna say bad because people got talent and shit, but it's just not my style. It's not my flavor. You know, like music ain't really made for everybody. If you mention Brother Lynch Hung to some people, they're gonna be like, what the fuck, why you listen to that? Man, that's one of the greatest to me, you know, because he really puts his mind deep into his lyrics, you know. But I understand why some people don't fuck with it. So when people ask me things like, you know, Too Short or things like that, when I hear people say Too Short this because I'm from Oakland, you probably like this or that or something, I'm like, well, no, Too Short's got bars, he's got skills or something, but it's not the type of music I like. You know, I don't like his cadence, you know, but I'm not going to say he's whack or no shit like that. You know, he can go. It's just not my style. So like I said, if it's not like real mob shit, then I'm usually not even fuck with it to begin with. But
Right.
I'm still open.
The reason why I had X because in the near future I'm about to interview. I got two artists that I'm about to have on here. One is Oscara X, who's the daughter of Oscara X. You know what I'm saying? She hard as fuck, man. She deep. You know what I'm saying? And she been out for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know till recently till I met her. You know what I'm saying? But it's like she hard, man. You know what I mean? And I already had I was fortunate to be able to to have a dialogue with Grandmaster Virgil. You know what I'm saying? After I had Pimpin' Ken on here, I had Grandmaster Virgil. I had a Virgil Grandmaster. And I had Cali Cash on here, who was his son. Cali Cash used to rap at Kafani. You know what I'm saying? And that's his son. That's Virgil's son. But Cali Cash got a son named Cake the Will, who's just as harder. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about all from out the town though. I know Cali Cash from seminary. They had these artists they got kids that's coming up, man, that and continue that and just raw in their own right. It's the time. But I was talking about the female artist in particular, her, and it's another female artist from Richmond, from North Richmond, named Action Pack Barbie. Like, she hard as hell. Like, I can't wait to get them on the platform, man, because easily they bars is eating up a lot of shit that I hear mainstream, man. You know what I'm saying? And like that's what we do here. I was seeing with your take. I just think that just stay lame. Nowadays we got it's like,
What'd you say?
let me just say the second one. Her name was Action Pack Barbie.
Barbie. I feel like I might have seen her.
Yeah, I want to play one of their shit, but my StreamYard is acting up. Otherwise, I would have played a clip of their shit while you're on here.
And
I was. You got Phil Lamore. I think she got a group called Pretty Chick Gang or some shit like that. I forgot the name of it though, but it's a few female artists in there that's kind of hot.
Okay.
It's they time. You know what I'm saying? And like the bars is getting better, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't like some 2000 WNBA type shit, man. I'm talking about these women talking shit, man. and these niggas like nowadays like the reverse. These niggas wearing dreaded wigs, fingernails painted, all, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about the mainstream niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like a reversal, man. It's like a role reversal, man. You know what I mean? So, but I ain't hating on the artists, man, who hard, man. You know what I mean? I can't wait to get them on here. But bro, we got I want to get you back on here after the toy drive. You know what I'm saying? That's the follow up, man. You know what I'm saying? And anything else, man, that you got going on. You know what I'm saying? Let the people know where they can reach you at, man. You know, with all your shit. You know what I mean? How they can catch up with you.
It's all on this. If you want to come out, rock. Look up Oakland on Instagram. That's his own account. Monthly rides in Vallejo and in Oakland, and then also one just sporadically on Sundays. It's not on Fridays, but this month's Sunday ride is the toy drive ride, which is on a Saturday. So I don't want to confuse nobody. But yeah, if you want to come ride with us, support the mob, all of that shit. We do these things called 2-wheel meals where we go ride around and feed the homeless. If you want to be any part of that, whether you're donating your time, your money, come ride with us, come hand out food, come cook some food, come buy some food, that kind of shit. Anything that you want to do, if you want to be a part of that, get in touch with the Oakland Friday Night Ride Instagram page. That's all put on by my motorcycle club. And it's the best way to stay informed on what we got going on, because that's where we post, all of our rides, and the stories is usually where we post the 2-wheel meals. We usually don't make a whole post for that. And if you're interested in coming out to 2-wheel meals and we don't get one going, fast enough or soon enough or something, because we got all this extra shit going on. The reason why we started these 2-wheel meals, and especially like making them public and shit, is to inspire people to do it themselves. Don't wait for us to do it. If you want to do one and we ain't working fast enough, then all it takes is for you to just post online, and we'll share it and everything. Get the motorcycle community in together, and you can do your own 2-wheel meals. We don't even have to be there. We'll give you some pointers or whatever, or places to go if you don't even know where to go and you just want to get this going. And also, the more of them spread out, the better. If somebody in Frisco want to do one for San Francisco, then that's good, because ours are mostly in Oakland or Berkeley San Leandro, Emeryville, them areas. But someone in Contra Costa wants to do it. I'm not gonna know all the ins and outs of where the camps and stuff like that is. But if y'all want to do that, do that. We only been doing the Vallejo ride for about almost a year and a half now, and before that, I didn't know nothing about Vallejo, none of the streets, none of the cuts. Now I feel like I could run from the police if I needed to out there. I know where all the little cuts are, and I know where the people be, and I know where some of the people that are in need be. So. In these other places where we might not reach, definitely form your own and tag us and get with us, and we'll help you plan it and we'll help you promote it and get that shit out there, because those are just an awesome time. It's better than making these motorcycle meets where people get together and just take pictures of their bike or just go to Starbucks and drink coffee or some shit like that. Like, at least y'all are going to be having a good time and doing something good and probably spending less money, because it don't cost a whole lot to feed some folks. We do hot dogs and tacos. It's easy.
Shout out to you. This Mike. Shout out to you for what you put together, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? And for putting thought into it, though. You know what I'm saying? For the people, man. Is there anything else we want to touch on before we get up out of here? Or do we cover everything?
It's always gonna think as soon as we turn this shit off. So we'll probably just have to wrap it up, and I'll catch you on the next one, because you said we're gonna get. I'll let you know what's going.
Yeah, for sure.
We're part two.
For sure. The show is definitely gonna be a part 2 to this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? This is my brother in row. And we here in the Ghost Regime Network, man. You know what I mean? For everybody to pull up and tap in, man. You got the toy drive coming up on the 15th of this month. You know what I'm saying? The flyer is on my Instagram for those who follow me or follow the Ghost Regime. The _Ghost_Regime_Network on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Or a Scory Mike. You know what I'm saying? The IG is right there on the ticker, man. You know what I'm saying? Of the Instagram, right there on the ticker. You can stay updated, everything that's happened with the Ghost Regime. And hold on. What? Yeah. For those who want to stay tapped in with anything that's happened with the Ghost Regime, man. You know what I'm saying? We go be at it. But again, shout out to my brethren, man. Like, share, subscribe to your guy. You know what I'm saying? And go get to it, man. Salute.